Hi, guys.
Hey, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Welcome to Wolf Mountain. What is Wolf Mountain?
You ask?
We are your alternative spiritual community where we talk about the Enneagram because
it's such a great tool for helping us to know and love each other better and to understand ourselves as well.
that's true. And we talk about God and spirituality and some of the things you probably don't hear in church.
Or you might.
Or you might. But we're off to a weird start this morning. I feel like this little
tonight,
bit tonight. It's just a little bit of a weirdness right now going on. But
Merry pre-Christmas.
Merry pre-Christmas. Yeah. How's it going out there in internet lands? Good to see everybody. We encourage people to interact. We can see your questions and comments on our little StreamYard here and
our high-tech monitoring
device.
Hi, Mohini.
Hey, Mohini. We encourage interaction, and I found that if you enable StreamYard to comment on your Facebook feed, we can see your comments on StreamYard. But if you can't, we can only see them on Facebook. So
either way, we'll see them somehow.
We'll see them somewhere. So if it's weird, that's what's going on. And it's been a week.
Another one.
Getting ready for Christmas, doing some Christmas shopping. Good to see everybody out and about in the town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got all that done, don't we?
As long as everything comes in the mail that needs to.
That's always the question.
Yeah, but we're close.
Who knows these days? But yeah. So we always do favorite thing ever of the week. And what was your favorite thing ever of the week?
Well, I was thinking about that today, and I think my mom actually was my favorite thing ever of this week. And I haven't really shared too much about it because no crying on Wolf Mountain. But
you can cry on Wolf Mountain.
But I'm not gonna. So, we lost my dad 4 weeks ago tomorrow, and I've been so amazed by how wonderful my mom has been through this, like supporting us, my sisters and me, and just showing so much resilience. And she's just amazing how she led my dad through such a hard time, and how she's just taking each day one day at a time and moving forward. And I just really love and admire her, and I'm grateful for her.
Yeah, it was difficult. Your mom had a lot of grace.
Yeah, she's my hero.
Yeah, well, my favorite thing ever of the week is, on a lighter note.
Yeah, sorry, went dark real fast there.
I know, dark real fast. Thanks a lot, babe. Pull up. No. My favorite thing over the week is, we're big Mandalorian fans, and Luke Skywalker showing up on the Mandalorian season finale. Now, admittedly, the CGs were a little wonky, but who cares?
Look, if he's just standing there.
It's Luke Skywalker showed up, and I'm so happy about it. A lot of the Star Wars geeks are pretty happy about that, but I was like, I didn't even get it at first when he showed up on the ship, and I was like, wait a minute. Luke Skywalker has a green lightsaber.
And we're super sorry for the spoiler if you haven't seen it.
Sorry. It's like, if you don't know now, you deserve to be spoiled. But
it's been on the interwebs.
It's been around.
It's out.
So yeah. But anyway, yeah. So for those of you who are new, we from 7 to 7:30 we discuss Enneagram, and certified coach Melanie helps us all get along. And then we have been going through each Enneagram once a week. We pick a new Enneagram number and discuss them from 7 to 7:30. And then from 7:30 to 8, I get on and we do church on Wolf Mountain, where I teach a little bit on spiritual intelligence. And I've been discussing dreams lately. This is round 3 of the dream series, and I've got 2 screens going on. So if I'm looking back and forth like this, it's a new setup for us. So for those who want just Enneagram, you can get on from 7 to 7:30. For those who want church, you can get on from 7:30 to 8. If you want it all, you can hang around. And yeah.
And replay is available later.
Oh yeah, replay is available on our YouTube channel, which I will post in the comments later. I'll link to.
Also, to search it, it's just
Wolf Mountain on YouTube. It's actually kind of hard to find sometimes, so people might be able to find it. But
are there a lot of other wolf things?
Apparently, I guess. Turns out people like wolves. Anyway, all right. Well, okay. I'm going to take over the comments section, and Melanie is going to teach us about Enneagram 6s.
Type sixes. So this is week 6, then obviously this series. So we're going to go into type 6, the loyalist.
The loyalist.
The loyalist. A lovely type.
Yes. Isn't that the most common type, the type 6?
That's a theory, but I'm skeptical, which is a very 6 thing to be. Some teachers have said that's the most common type, but the theory that I agree with was the Enneagram was really popularized in the Catholic Church, and there may be a pretty strong concentration of type 6s in the Catholic Church. So I think maybe they just, from their own non-random sampling, came across more 6s in that church than in the general public. That's
your theory?
My theory, and not just my theory. It's the theory I heard that I agree with the most. Just anecdotally, I don't know way more 6s than other types. So, but I know a few, and I like them all so far.
They are nice.
Yeah. So, in general, what a type 6 looks like, they are a very loyal friend. They are humble. They can sometimes wrestle with anxiety. They're focused on security and community.
Wait a minute. We almost forgot we have an Enneagram 6 graphic. Do we need that yet?
Yes. Let's pop that up there.
Okay, that's the best part. So to stay on theme,
good.
We have Star Wars and Enneagram.
So I love this because it's got 3 examples of 6s. Chewie, R2D2, and C3PO. We love it.
We haven't figured out, the whole placement of the graphic yet.
Over there. So. I think I'm in the screen. And it's a really good example, and we'll talk about this more, but 6s can be either phobic or counterphobic. So if they're phobic, they tend to run away from their fears, or if they're counterphobic, they run at them. So R2D2 tended to roll into danger, and C3PO tended to run away and try to get everyone else to come away too and be safe.
That's right.
Yes. So very cute. So there's lots of good type 6 tidbits there.
Awesome.
So fun.
It's very proud of myself for finding Star Wars Enneagram.
So now we have to do all of them in Star Wars themes.
Yes.
Probably in the Star Wars universe, we can have examples of every type.
Yeah, I think we do. I think Ray is a 8.
Don't give it away.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
You have to wait to find out.
It's up for debate.
Or you could always look it up on the internet.
Stupid internet.
There's theories.
Spoils everything. All right.
Okay. So here are some things. You might be a type 6 if a lot or all of these things resonate with you.
Type 6 if.
You might be a 6, or if they ring a bell for you for somebody in your life. So these things would be common to 6s.
All right. Let's have them.
Yes. So you might be a type 6 if you're always imagining and planning for the worst. 6s are the very best disaster planners.
I might have some 6 in.
You do.
No.
Yes. You might be a 6 if you often don't trust people who are in authority. You can be skeptical.
There's a lot of that going around right now.
Yes. If people say you are loyal, understanding, funny, and compassionate. Some nice traits. If most of your friends don't have as much anxiety as you do.
So would a 6,
say.
if a 6 was a dog, would it be a Chihuahua?
Probably. Yeah. It's hard to.
Really? 6s have a lot of anxiety.
They wrestle with anxiety.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Their deadly sin is fear, but it's really more anxiety than fear. It's just that anxiousness of what might happen more than
the what ifs.
More than fear of something that's actually happening. It's the what if. It's the uncertainty.
So 6 might need to work on their what ifs.
Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. What if something great happens?
I know. That was actually a revelation for me. I think Chris Valentin said, if your what ifs are always negative outcomes, you need to examine your thinking. It's like, why are you always planning for disaster?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Powerful.
Yep. Great. Let's see. If you act quickly in a crisis, but when things settle down, you fall apart. And I've heard 6s say that because they are such disaster planners, they tend to be very organized and collected during the disaster because they plan for it. But afterwards, then they just fall apart they freak out later, which is, if you're going to freak out, it's better to do it later after the crisis is passed.
Freak out in private.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. If when your partner and you are doing really well in your relationship, you might find yourself wondering what will happen to spoil it.
Oh,
So that can be kind of
I'm kind
self-fulfilling
of bad at that.
sometimes.
Not with the relationships, but with like waiting for the hammer to drop.
Mhm.
I have to fight that. I must have more 6 in me than I
It's
thought.
in your tri-type.
Oh,
So
that's what it is.
it's in
That's
there.
right.
Mhm. Yep. Being sure you've made the right decision is almost impossible.
Mm.
Sixes are notorious second guessers of themselves. If you're aware that fear has dictated a lot of the choices that you've made in your life,
Mm.
if you don't like to find yourself in unpredictable situations, they
Mm.
prefer predictability and routine.
Interesting.
If you find it hard to stop thinking about the things that you're worried about,
Mm.
so they get in that mental spiral,
The spin.
the mental spin, yes. If you're generally not comfortable with extremes,
Mhm.
if you usually have so much to do, it's hard to finish your tasks.
Hmm.
Yes. If you're most comfortable around other people who are pretty much like you,
Isn't that across the board though?
yes, but more so with sixes.
Mm.
Yeah.
They like to be around their own type.
Yeah. If people tell you that you're overly pessimistic, even if you yourself think you're just a realist, what's the feedback you get? If you're slow to start, but once you do get started, you find yourself continuously thinking about what could go wrong.
Mm. So they'd probably be good, like doomsday preppers.
Probably, yeah. Just stock that basement.
6 are good people to know in a disaster scenario.
Yeah, just have them
already got it
picked
planned
out
out.
so you can get quickly in touch.
I like it.
Yeah. If you don't trust people who give you too many compliments, they're suspicious of that. What do you want?
Suspicious.
Let's see. If it helps you to have things in some kind of order, so it's a good thing. If you like to be told you're good at your job, but you get nervous when your boss wants to add any additional responsibilities.
Mm.
If you have to know people for a long time to really trust them.
Mm.
Or if you are skeptical of things that are new and unknown.
Mm.
So those are things that are typical of sixes. So
don't take a 6 on a spontaneous road trip.
Probably not. They may not love it unless a 6 with a 7 wing might love it.
They would just have everything planned out.
They would plan it really well and, maybe don't take them too far off the beaten path.
I might have a lot of 6 in me, actually.
Yes, I know.
This is a revelation to me. I always says I'm the forest fire they've ever seen,
but with a strong helping of 6.
A strong helping of 6. I have a dash of 6. Any 6s out there wheeling? Where's everybody tonight? Everybody must be out Christmas shopping tonight. That's cool.
It's a tough one, so we'll catch you on the replay.
Yeah. By the way, sometimes the feed is spotty, but the replay is better. So if I don't know why that is, but sometimes it just works out that way. Yeah. But the playback on YouTube is often very clear. So
thanks, YouTubes.
All right.
Okay.
Good stuff.
A little bit more about our 6s.
So that was a very fearful grouping of you might be's.
Yeah. So
Fear-based.
We mentioned that. So their deadly sin is, or core weakness, however you want to put it, is anxiety. Mm-hmm. So a lot of their life is based around controlling that and avoiding that and dealing with that. So given that, 6s really are the most courageous of any type. If you think about it, if you're overcoming a fear, that's courageous. It's not that courageous to do something if it doesn't even scare you. So I like to think about how hard they work to do some things that might be easier for other types, but they are overcomers.
That's interesting.
So good job.
6s. Thought about that.
Yeah. And they long to be safe and secure.
Who doesn't?
Other types.
That must be the 6 talking to me.
Right. So we can talk about wings. So do you have the Enneagram diagram?
I do have the Enneagram.
I will bring that graphic up. I'll move my head.
Feeds great in Canada. That is good.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's our diagram. So you can see 6 is down there in the lower left hand. So a type 6 can either have a 7 wing or a 5 wing, or neither, or some people have equal measure of both. So we can let that go. Okay, cool. So we'll look at those wings that can really color the behavior. And a 6 with a 7 wing is pretty different than a 6 with a 5 wing. So to start with the 5 wing, one name for that type is called the defender. The defender.
Okay.
So yes, which is well, I guess you don't really have wings, but I was trying to think which is more like you. But anyway, so in general, a 6 with a 5 wing would be more introverted, more cerebral, more withdrawn, self-controlled, responsible.
I'm not responsible.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. They'd be very conscientious, serious about ethical and political beliefs. They can sometimes be mistyped as a 1 even because of that focus on ethics. They could also be outspoken and intense, which makes them look more like an 8. So it's interesting that that wing in particular could really make a type 6 look like something else entirely.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Type 6s with a 5 wing are a good voice for underdogs, and they will go to great length to defend others, which is part of what makes them look like an 8. Then on the other wing, the 6 with a type 7 is called the buddy. So a 6 with a 7 wing.
So they're like Robin from Batman and Robin would be a 6 with a 7 wing.
I don't really know.
They make good sidekicks.
They might be a good sidekick. I don't know if Robin was a 6.
Who knows?
I don't know. That's a whole different comic book universe.
We can only stick to Star Wars right now. Let's concentrate on Star Wars. We can't bring in DC.
Different superheroes can't do it. Okay, so with a 7 wing, they'd be more extroverted, energetic, engaging, friendly, likable, more looking towards their community for support, although 6s in general definitely do that. They, let's see. They can also tend to be more anxious and get more stressed out about having to make decisions. Because 7s also don't really, they just want to keep their options open. So
don't want to be cornered.
Yeah. So those are some things that can make 6s look unique. So one thing that 6s have that's pretty unique in the Enneagram is they have what we call an inner committee. So
like that movie,
Inside Out, right? Is that the one we're talking about?
The animated movie with all the people in the head. Yeah.
Yes.
Never actually watched it.
I think I watched part of it on a plane, but I would like to watch the whole thing. Probably.
It's a good image of a 6's brain.
Kind of, except for those were all of that person's emotions, where type 6s have their inner committee could be made up of all kinds of people. It could be their parent, it could be a pastor, it could be a boss, it could be like a neighbor, it could be a childhood friend, it could be a sibling, it could, like, their inner committee could be anybody, and it could be any number of people. So this inner committee, they're like running decisions past them all the time and considering what the committee thinks they should do. And sometimes the committee voices don't agree. So that makes decision-making really tricky for a 6 sometimes. It's not a psychosis. It's just
it's just a 6-cosis.
It's just how they're wired. So understanding that if you have a 6 in your life, if you're not the 6, you can have some compassion for them for what they're going through, why decision-making is hard, because it's a bigger process.
You have to ask all the committee. So if you ask your 6th friend the question, they've got to take it to the panel of judges.
Yeah.
Are they always critical, inside voices?
Not necessarily. It's not like a 1 where that voice is pretty much going to be critical. There might be a critical committee member, but that doesn't necessarily mean the overall output of the committee is critical. But there is going to be like a security focus there. So safety is important. So if you know someone that's always telling you to be careful and always wants to know what you're up to and where you are and just wants you to be safe, they could be a 6. And that's because they love you. They want you to be okay. They won't tell you drive like hell and take chances when you leave.
That was a joke we had with our friends.
Everyone said
drive safe, so we'd tell each other to drive like hell and take chances.
That's the opposite of a 6 thing.
Right. We thought it was funny.
It is kind of funny. Yes. So type 6s are in the thinking center. So a lot is happening here. Like there's a lot of committee work happening in here, so they can kind of get bogged down in their like swirling thinking.
So you can't ask them how they feel. You got to ask them what they think.
They might have to take it by the committee to know
how they
to know how they feel. Yes.
I have trouble with those head triad people.
Well, when your heart coming from the heart, it's like sometimes there's a
everything's how it feels with me. So they're all how it.
You have feelings about your thoughts, and they have
thoughts about their
feelings. So it's a little an important distinction.
Mm.
Okay, so here are some ideas for how to get along with a 6 if you are not a 6. So communicate with them honestly, clearly, and directly. So they do like a lot of direction. They want expectations spelled out clearly, and they want feedback.
So they probably don't like metaphorical people.
I don't know whether they like metaphorical people, but they just want clear communication. Mm. So sometimes metaphors can be clear if they're good ones.
They're good ones?
Yeah.
I'm so annoying. I just speak in metaphors all the time.
Metaphors are very metaphors.
Metaphor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're made just for you. Let's see. So they're called the Loyalists. So they are loyal, and loyalty is important to them. So be sure not to betray their trust and loyalty.
Just got rid of our feed.
Uh-oh.
Carry on.
Come back.
Doing technical difficulties in the background.
No. There it is. So they're security focused. So be a safe place for them. Don't betray their confidences, and be careful with their hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Be empathetic when you're dealing with them, supportive, and compassionate with their interior struggles. Listen patiently, because they might have to process something longer as they're working out what they should do. So it's important to be patient with them as they do that process. Let's see. And just be reassuring to them. Sometimes they might want more reassurance than other types do. So understand that's just how they're wired. It doesn't mean anything else. They just need that reassurance.
I actually don't know if our stream is coming up because it's not available.
Uh-oh.
But carry on. We'll fix it. I'm fixing it as we go.
Okay, well, we'll see what's happening. Okay, so if you do get into conflict with a 6, here are some tips for that. So ask them if they want to discuss the issue now or if they'd like to do it later. So give them some control and ownership over the timing of when the discussion happens. And allow them to share their thoughts first while you stay calm and steady and listen. And then be sure you offer reassurance before you give your perspective. So make sure that they know that you're in there with them and that you understand them and hear them. Show loyalty and love by being warm and understanding and supportive. Understand that they could tend to feel targeted or blamed for things. So be careful about how you're coming across. That's kind of a subliminal fear that they have. They hate being blamed for things. So be careful how you come across. If you have broken trust with them, understand it's going to take some time to repair it. So own your mistakes and apologize and give it some time to rebuild. And yeah, it's just going to take some time to be consistently loyal so they can know they can trust you. Yeah.
So like a cat, you've got to earn their trust.
You do. So no flinging the cat.
No flinging the cat. That's awesome.
Okay, so
all right. Sorry, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty. I'm not quite sure people are getting our live feed on Facebook.
Oh, can you tell?
See it anywhere. So comment if you're still seeing it.
Mohini, can you see us?
Because
I
I'm
don't know
not
if anyone else is on there.
We're not talking to space, but I'll give it a minute and then I'm going to reset it because it looks like it disappeared off Facebook.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I'll just keep going just in case there's anybody watching. So if you are a type 6 parent or had a 6 type parent, this is how they tend to parent. They're loving, nurturing, and have a strong sense of duty and loyalty, unsurprisingly. They can be reluctant to give their kids very much independence because they're concerned for their safety. So be aware. And they can tend to have this constant undertone of worry that their kids are going to get hurt or something's going to happen.
Live feed.
Oh, okay.
Commenting now.
Weird. Okay. Thanks, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel. I'm actually, it looks like we're having a technical difficulty, so I'm going to stop this at 7:30 and start over.
Okay, but I'll go ahead and finish up.
That Melanie will finish. Sorry.
The last bit.
I knew something weird was going to happen tonight when I started. It must be the six in me.
Oh, yes. Did you worst case scenario plan for this to happen?
Projected it. I manifested it. Dang it.
So did you look on one of our Facebooks to see if people can come on Facebook?
It's not on either one of our Facebooks. So something is afoot.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Alas. Well, I'm missing all your fun comments.
So why don't we do this? I am going to restart this. Look for it in a second. And we'll get back to you with round 2. Sorry about this, guys. Sometimes it happens.
Okay.
We've only had it do this twice through like 30 episodes of this. So you can't win them all. So
okay.
please stand by. We'll be back.